We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to fight to hold support above the 425 area. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot at 10:20 a.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, bouncing off the 426, 425 area. And in today's video, we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into next week, and what's going on with the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run idea was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was FEMY. We caught this one early on in the pre-market. FEMY stock had those inflows pick up to the upside into the bell. And after the bell, it was under a bull indicator and it hit a highest point of 100% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators and getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from the rip area to the dip area on 42 vision. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, under a bear indicator at the 430.70 area for the first time in the last several days since the bull indicator that popped up at the 424.50 area, and outflows crossed over significantly today, hitting lows down here of negative 4.7, right? Not that far off of the recent lows here of negative 4.6 and negative 4.8. So not that far off of it, but in the second half of the day into the after hours, inflows has started to pick up. Now, outflows are still dominating, but it's much closer to the midpoint, and that's going to be something I would definitely not ignore going into next week. It's going to be crucial and critical for the bulls to try to bring it back up, cross that midpoint to start reflecting strength into these charts, and eventually cancel out that bear indicator with a possible bull indicator. Now, if we zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we could go ahead and see here inflows are trying to pick back up. They had picked up yesterday. They pushed up to highs here of 3.76 at today's open. Outflows crossed over, but inflows are picking back up here in the second half of the day as it's trying to stay above 426 and fighting here to go towards the 428 area. Now, in the volatility of the 15-minute, if we zoom into it, we could go ahead and see here how it's been under a bear indicator since up here at 430.52, outflows crossed over, and in the second half here in the after hours, inflows were above and outflows just crossed over into the end of the day, right? At the end of the after hours, and this is going to be crucial and critical to not ignore, because if this continues to go lower, it could go ahead and reflect even further that weakness into the 30-minute and make it reject, switching from green to red and pulling away from the midpoint as it starts to push lower and hold these bear indicators true in the volatility. Now, what are the key levels I would watch? Well, the first thing is support, guys. And the first support level is the 426 to 425 area. That's a tight range there to not ignore. And that's where things bounced up today and yesterday, right? Around that 426, 425 area before doing the next leg up yesterday to 430. And today back up to 428. And if these outflows go from green to red, pull away from the midpoint and reflect that weakness into these charts, I'll be watching that as well as in the volatility. If these outflows continue to the downside, pull through the midpoint, hold this bull indicator true from 430.50 area, I would not ignore it. And then the next support below that is the 423 area. And if that gets broken through, I'll be watching the 420 area. Those are the key levels I'll be watching to the downside. To the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows on the 1 hour to continue upwards and eventually cancel out this bear indicator and cross the midpoint, reflecting that strength into these charts, get a bull indicator in the process. Same thing here on the 30-minute, get these inflows back above, cancel out that bear indicator with a possible bull indicator, as well as get those inflows back above as well on the 15-minute as it's right there near the midpoint and crossing it to the downside. Now, what's the first resistance? Well, it's the 429 area. If that gets broken through, the next resistance is the 430.50 area, and then I'll be watching the 432 to 435 area. So these are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial. The inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them. They're all below the midpoint, but trying to bring themselves back up on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, but on the 15-minute, it just crossed in the volatility, and it's going to be crucial for it to come back up and switch from red to green. And I'm going to be watching that very closely, as well as the 5-minute, as it's right there near the midpoint and under a bull indicator at the 426.80 area. And these inflows are all trying to get back up, right? They're below it, but they're really close to the midpoint. And especially here in the bigger picture with the 1 hour, it is green and trying to head towards it. And on the 30-minute as well, right? Green and trying to head towards that midpoint. I would not ignore that in the bigger picture here, and even zoomed in within the volatility, how close these inflows are to the midpoint. So I'm not going to ignore that and watch that very carefully going into next week and what's going on within these multiple time frames and charts, and watch if these bull indicators can get canceled with bull indicators in the process as those resistance levels get retested. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.